बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की
जय।
श्रीमद् सतगुरु सरकार की
जय।
प्रथमं सद्गुरुं वन्दे श्रीकृष्णं तदनन्तरं गुरुः पापात्मना त्राता श्रीकृष्णस्त्वमलात्मना वन्दे नवघनश्यामं पीतकौशेयवाससं सानन्दं सुन्दरं शुद्धं श्रीकृष्णं प्रकृतेः परम् नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ब्रह्मदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. Dear devotees, the bhajan that I've chosen to elaborate on, you must have copies. Are man avasar beetyo jaat. The saint poet of this bhajan, Jagat Guru Uttam Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, addressing the mind, says, "O mind, this golden opportunity in the form of this human life is slipping away. Time is passing you by. Kaal kaval vash vidhi hari har sab tori kaha bisat." Even Brahma, Vishnu, and Shankar, the three governors of the universe, are under the control of time. Even they fall prey to time. What to speak of you? Lahi paras naratanu sur durlabh gunjan hit bhatakat. And even after acquiring this body, this human body, which is like a touchstone, it is so rare to attain even by the celestial God. You are roaming around, you are roaming about. uselessly, running after the worthless material objects of this world. Badhir andh jimi sunat na dekhat rahat vishay madmat. Just like a blind and a deaf man, you neither listen to the spiritual teachings of the masters, of the scriptures, nor do you see the illusionary nature of this world. Rather, you remain intoxicated in sensual pleasures. Ab kari ho imi kahi, rahi jai ho pachitat. And if you continue to postpone your devotional practice by saying, I will do it later, or I will do it once I finish this or that, then what will happen? Imi kahi rahi jahiyon pachitat. You will have to regret your procrastination when death comes, and by then it will be too late. Hot kripalu pralay pal mahatu kehi bal par itarat. Shri Kripaluji Maharaj says, he warns the mind, he says, death can come at any instant. What power do you possess to postpone death? In other words, you are helpless before death. Therefore, you have no right to show pride. You must not be conceited. You must not act as you possess something. You have no power before time. So let us sing a few lines first. अवसर बीत्यो जात हरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात हरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात हरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन बीत्यो जात अरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
काल कवल वश विधि हरि हर सब
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 तोरी कहाँ बिसात अरे मन
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 अवसर बीत्यो जात हरे मन
अवसर बीत्यो जात अरे मन
हरे मन
हरे मन
हरे मन
हरे मन
all the scriptures, the Purans, the Upanishad, the Ramayana, all the Vedic scriptures highly praise the virtues, the value of this human form of life. As you must know, that eternal religion, that is to say, Sanatan Dharma, is based on the Vedas, on our Hindu scriptures known as the Vedas, the Vedic scriptures. The Vedas are the ultimate authority on spiritual knowledge. Therefore, the Vedas are the greatest spiritual treasure, not only of India, but humanity at large. One may say that they are the accumulated treasure of spiritual laws, spiritual principles, rules and regulations, revealed to different saints and seers at different times by God Himself. God has told us everything about himself in the Vedas. They contain unlimited divine knowledge. So the Vedas are divine. They are the natural breath of God because they manifested through the breath of God. Nishwasit masya Vedaha. The Vedas themselves declare. So just as the Vedas are divine, so is God. And amongst such vast knowledge, in the midst of such vast knowledge, and amongst so many other things, what do the Vedas tell us? Let me tell you what the Vedas state. Yasyamatam tasyamatam matam yasya na vedasaha. The Vedas tell us that he who thinks he can know God is the most ignorant, whereas he who understands that God cannot be known is the wisest. No one can know God. He who wishes to understand God, the Vedas themselves state, understands nothing. Here we are faced with a great difficulty because it is impossible to have faith in God without knowing him, without gaining his knowledge. And without having faith in him, it is impossible to love him. So if we somehow get to know God, faith and love will follow automatically. There will not be even a moment's delay. As Lord Krishna states in the Gita, Chipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat shantim nigacchati, 931. Let me explain this through an example. Suppose you happen to find a beautiful ring with a beautiful diamond-like stone embedded in it. You are attracted to the ring and you take it to the nearest jeweler to have it appraised. And he values the ring at approximately $100. Since this is not a large amount, you take the ring home and you casually put it away somewhere. The following day, a friend of yours who happens to be a diamond merchant shows up at your door, and you decide to get a second opinion on the ring. The stone in the ring immediately catches your friend's attention, and he values the ring at no less than $100,000. Now your attitude towards the ring changes immediately. Previously, you had been casual towards it, but now you are very much attracted to it. Now, whenever you look at the ring, it is with the love and affection of $100,000. The ring is the same, you are the same, but your feelings towards the ring changes as soon as you find out its true value. In the same way, first we will have to get to know God. Find out about him. How beautiful he is. He possesses infinite beauty, infinite love, infinite grace. He's causelessly merciful. Because as the Ramayana states, Jane binu na hoi paratiti, binu paratiti hoi nahi priti. Without knowledge, without knowing him, one cannot have faith, and without faith, one cannot love. Recognizing this, Gaurang Mahaprabhu has also stated, Siddhant baliya chitte na kar alas. Do not procrastinate. Do not be careless in acquiring spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of God. Do not procrastinate. Because without theoretical knowledge, one cannot begin to truly practice devotion. And recognizing this, the Vedas also state, as do Western scriptures, they also tell us, we walk by faith and not by sight. Such is the importance of faith that the Vedas tell us. The moment we acquire faith, complete faith in God, we will attain Him and be liberated from the clutches of Maya forever. Tattva bhavaha prasidati. So the point is, once again, we will first have to get to know God. Now, who can know Him? That is the next question that arises. There are 8.4 million species of life in existence. Do all living creatures have the right to know Him? You may say so, because all living creatures are the children of God. The Vedas themselves declare, Amritasya vai putraha. So we may conclude that yes, all living creatures can know God, in other words, attain Him, but that is not so. The Garuda Puran states, Na manusham vinanyatra tattva-jnanam tu labhyate. Except for humans, out of all the living creatures in existence, except for humans, it is not possible for any other living creature to know God, to gain the knowledge of God. And to know Him is to attain Him. The Vedas warn us, Ihache dashakad bodhum prak sharirasya visrasaha tatah sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvai kalpate. Kathopanishad 234. O humans, do not waste precious time. Make a sincere effort to know God. If you do not strive to know God while in the human form, the Vedas tell us that you will rotate endlessly in the cycle of birth and death, suffering and lower forms of life. Therefore, uttishtat jagrat prapya varan nibodhat. Again, Kathopanishad 1:3-14. Awaken, arise, O humans, and seek the holy association of saints, so that through them you may attain divine knowledge. Veda Vyas, the descension of God, the composer of the 18 Purans, thinking Vedic knowledge to be cumbersome, to be too vast to grasp, too complicated, he divided the Vedas into 4 parts. He wrote the Mahabharata and many other scriptures with the view to simplify Vedic knowledge. And in every Puran, he emphasizes the importance, the value of this human life. In the Bhagavad Mahapuran, Durlabho manusho deho dehinam chana bhanguraha. He tells us, 11-29 Bhagavad, that the human form of life is so difficult to attain. It is so rare. It is so precious. And the rarity of the human birth is evident from the fact that merely 8 billion humans inhabit the earth. Whereas we can easily find 8 billion tiny creatures, tiny organisms in a 1-foot deep hole in the ground. Scientists once discovered 10,000 microscopic organisms, tiny creatures in one rotting apple. So just imagine how few humans there are in comparison to other living creatures on earth. Furthermore, in the Narad Puran, it is also stated, Durlabham manusham janma prarthyate tridashairapi. I know you've heard the philosophy numerous times, but it has not yet fully registered. We haven't digested this spiritual knowledge, not completely. All living creatures, the scriptures tell us, including heavenly gods, beg and pray to God for the precious human body. Why? Namanushat shesh tataram hi kinchit. Because as the Mahabharata states, there's no form of life superior to the human form. Nirdeha madhyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam mayanukulena nabhasvateritam puman bhavabdhim nataretsa atmaha. 11:20:17 Bhagavad. Vedavyas again further reminds us. He says, you have been provided this human body as the most competent vessel, as the most adequate vehicle. This human form is like a ship. It is an actual ship to take one across the ocean of Maya, this material existence. And God's grace, in the form, having given us this human form of life, is the favorable wind and a true preceptor, a worthy guide in the form of the Guru, is the helmsman, the driver of this ship, who can steer this mighty ship in the right direction. And God says, if one is blessed with all these 3 gifts, in spite of being blessed with these 3 gifts, if one still fails to make an attempt to cross the ocean of material existence, he is a slayer of his very soul. And not just the scriptures, Adi Jagat Guru Shankaracharya also beautifully writes, Manuj dehamimam bhuvi durlabham samadhigamya surairapi vanchitam vishayalam patatam apahaya vai bhajatre manujaha kamalapatim. He says that you have been blessed with the human birth after millions of lives, the rarest birth. So, utilize each and every precious moment of your life. Instead of wasting precious moments of life in pursuit of temporary worldly pleasures, make an effort to reach God. So all the scriptures, all the saints tell us the same thing, that once having attained the human form through the greatest fortune, Utilize each and every precious moment of life towards your goal, your ultimate goal. In the Ramayana also, we read, Garuji asks Kagbashundiji 7 questions. Out of all the questions in all of the scriptures, there were picked 7 questions. And 7 most important questions ever asked. And even out of these 7 questions, the following question was foremost, was asked first. Prathama hi kahu nath mati dhira, sabte durlabh kavan sarira. He said, tell me, my Lord, which form of life is the most difficult to attain? Which is the most precious form? Kagbashundiji answers, Nartanu samanahi kavani udehi, jiva chara char jachat jehi. He replied, there's no superior form of life to the human form, which is desired by all classes of living beings. So, what is so special about humans that places them on a higher level? Saint Bhartrihari tells us, Ahara nidra bhayamaithunanja samanya me tat pashubhir naranam. First he tells us that man is equal to animals in 4 respects: eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. This is what Saint Bhartrihari says. But Sri Mahaji and other saints state otherwise as well. They say that man is inferior to animals in all 4 respects. Take the example of a cow or a goat. What do these animals eat? Grass, leaves, and other food stuff that nature has provided for them. And also, on the other hand, nature has also provided us with an abundant variety of food products. And yet, we do not like to eat food in its original form. Rather, we prefer to spice it, fry it before consuming it. So the sad truth is that the scriptures, the saints remind us, is that most humans, unlike other living creatures, most humans live to eat, not eat to live. We are not half as sensible in our eating habits, and yet we loudly claim, we arrogantly claim that we do not eat like animals. Out of 8 billion humans, you may not find even 8,000 or 80,000 humans who eat as sensibly as animals. Let us take a look at another aspect. Mating, that is to say, the satisfaction of lower instincts. Sadly, other creatures display a definite superiority in this area as well. Animals such as cows, buffaloes, lions mate only once a year, while man wastes his entire life in pursuit of more and more sensual pleasures, bringing the greatest harm to body, mind, and soul. And yet, on the other hand, the scriptures praise humans, the human form of life, to such an extent that they declare humans to be the best among all living creatures. So why? Again, you see, Tulsidas ji gives us the answer. Why are humans praised to such an extent and declared to be the best among all living creatures? First of all, Saint Bhartri himself, he gives us the answer in the second line of the verse, in which he likens humans to animals. He tells us, Jnanam hi tesham adhiko vishesho jnanena hinaah pashubih samanaah. First he tells us that man is superior to animals is because he possesses an exceptional quality, an essential quality to distinguish between right and wrong. So it is the gift of knowledge, Gyan Shakti, the faculty of discrimination that places him on a higher plane. Hit anahit pashu pachayu jana, manush tanu gun jnana nidhana. As the Ramayana also states, Bertrand Russell, an English philosopher and a mathematician who has won an award on his book called The Principles of Social Reconstruction, the book on the external world. And he has beautifully observed, he states, life devoted only to life is animal. Life devoted, referring to humans, life devoted only to life is animal life, incapable of preserving man permanently from weariness. So it is the power of rational thinking that distinguishes man from other creatures and places him on a higher plane. This is easy to understand. But what's not easy to understand is the superiority of the human body over heavenly gods, over celestial beings. You see, just as man, let alone other creatures of this world, man is capable of enslaving even heavenly gods. Just like man can control the most ferocious and the most wild that can bring, the most wildest animal under his control by means of material skills, he's also capable of controlling and defeating heavenly gods. How? Through spiritual perfection. And that is why the heavenly gods, that is one reason, they also sing glories of the human body. गायन्ति देवाः किल गीतकानि धन्यास्तु ये भारत भूमि भागे. So why do heavenly gods desire the human body? When the scriptures tell us that heavenly beings are far superior to humans in many respects. The body of a heavenly being, as you know, you must have heard in one of the discourses, possesses a number of special qualities. Unlike the human body, it is not made of the 5 gross elements, ether, air, fire, water, and earth. No. It is supernatural. It is so fragrant and radiant that even if the most ordinary of these heavenly gods were to come down on earth at this very moment and stand in front of us, we would not be able to contain their beauty within our material and limited senses. We would immediately fall down unconscious. We would lose consciousness. Moreover, these heavenly gods, their bodies do not excrete perspiration like our bodies do. Waste matter odor, etc. Furthermore, these heavenly gods never suffer from hunger or thirst. Dust cannot touch their body. Their feet never touch the ground. Their body does not cast a shadow. The list goes on and on. And yet, in spite of possessing such a wonderful and enviable body, these heavenly gods desire the human body. They desire this body, which is nothing but a bag of flesh and bones, excreting only filth and foul odors. This is our experience. This is a fact. Now one may say that perhaps humans possess superior knowledge than heavenly gods, but even that is not so. Although we have advanced tremendously in technology, but the fact remains that we cannot compete with heavenly gods in knowledge. They possess mighty weapons such as Agnivan, weapon of fire, Vayuban, etc. Weapons that have the ability to kill only the intended victims, leaving all others unharmed. So, the bottom line is that our knowledge places us above only plants, trees, birds, insects, and animals, but certainly not heavenly gods. All right. Then, now the question arises, well, if even knowledge is not the determining factor for the superiority of the human body, then what is? Tulsidas Ji explains very simply and clearly, but in a very twisted way. Narak swarg apvarg niseni Gyan virag bhakti sukh deni. He tells us that the human life is the best possible means of attaining hell. These words are coming from the same Tulsidas Ji, who also tells us that there's no form of life quite like the human form. Kabhu kari karuna nar dehi det ish binu hetu sanehi bade bhag manush tanu pava sur durlabh satgranthani gava. So these words are also coming from Tulsidas Ji. And now he's telling us that the human life is special because it can lead us to hell. It is like a stairway leading to hell. Now, what kind of praise is this? So let me explain to you the science behind this most debatable statement made by Tulsidas Ji. You see, man is the only living creature blessed, endowed with the gift of knowledge. If this gift, this gyan, this knowledge, faculty of discrimination, is utilized properly, it can lead man to greatness. He can attain whatever he desires. There's no limit. But if it is misused, the same gift is misused, it can lead man to downfall. The consequences can be horrifying, leading to his downfall. And because 99.9% of humans do commit this offense of misusing this gift of God that we have been blessed with, Tulsidas Ji refers to hell first. Because most, 99.9% humans, abuse this body by indulging into sense gratification. So, and secondly, Tulsidas Ji then refers to Swarg. heaven. Those desirous of attaining heaven. All leading religions of the world offer heaven as a reward for good actions, virtuous actions, orthodox performance of rites and rituals. You see, heaven is a reward offered to us for our virtuous actions. However, the pleasures of Swarga are also limited and temporary. Since our virtuous actions are limited, so is the duration of our stay in heaven. Say 1 year, 10 years, 100 years, 1,000 years, or maybe perhaps 10,000 years, but there is a limit. Once the fruits of all our virtuous actions are exhausted, we can no longer stay in heaven. Tavat pramodate swarge yavat punyam samapyate, as the Bhagavad states. 11:10:26. Where do we go then? Once we are forced out of heaven, after we have exhausted all our fruitive actions, where do we go? To lower species of life on earth. Hina taram vavishanti. Next, Tulsidas Ji refers to those who strive to attain, who aim at the attainment of liberation, mukti, to be freed from the sufferings of this material world, to be freed from released from the endless suffering cycle of birth and death in various forms of life, to attain liberation. So these individuals realize that heavenly gains, heavenly pleasures are temporary and limited and cannot put an end to this endless cycle of birth and this rotational cycle of birth and death. So therefore, they aim to attain liberation, mukti, instead. And finally, Tulsidas Ji refers to those rare naraka swarga apavarga niseni jnana virag bhakti sukhdeni. He refers to those extremely rare and intelligent humans who desire not even liberation. They love God unselfishly and aim for the highest. And that is Anand Prapti, Bhagavad Prapti, Krishna Anand, Prema Anand, God realization through devotion. So in essence, Tulsidas Ji tells us, he reminds us that humans are capable of attaining whatever they desire, whether it be hell, next is heaven, far beyond heaven is liberation, and far beyond even liberation is devotion. Devotion to God, bhakti, jnana viraga bhakti sukhdeni. We have been given the freedom to perform whatever actions we desire and attain whatever we desire, as much as we desire, to perform appropriate actions in order to attain our desired goal, our desired end. Punyena punyalokam nayati papena papmabhabhyam eva manushyalokam. Prashnopanishad 3:7. Now, what about the other species of life? There are 8.4 million species in existence on Earth. Do all these other living creatures possess the freedom to perform actions? No. It is only humans who have been given the freedom to act, the freedom to perform actions, karma, and bear the fruits thereof. And that is the reason why the human form of life alone is referred to as karma yoni. All other species of life are referred to as bhog yoni. Other creatures merely enjoy or suffer the consequences of actions performed by them in past lives as humans. They do not have the right, they are not given the right, they cannot and do not taste the fruits of their present actions. Even heavenly gods are, their form of life is called Bhog Yoni. One cannot work towards spiritual upliftment even while in heaven. We read in the Vedas that God, the Supreme Lord, appeared before these great heavenly gods, Agni, Vayu, Indra, etc. But this did not help these heavenly gods spiritually. Why? Because their bodies are merely the medium of reaping consequences of past actions. And therefore it is for this reason that even heavenly gods desire the human form. They desire it so that they may work towards reaching their ultimate aim of God realization. We can work towards reaching our ultimate goal in life only as a human. That is how precious it is. And this is the reason why man rises above all other living creatures, because he alone among God's children is given the freedom, the power to cross, to transcend the limitations of this material world and return to the divine abode for all eternity. Aim at the highest. So it is up to us. We can work towards reaching our ultimate goal, or we can, it's entirely up to us what we wish to do. So you understand that we can realize God in only the human form of life, because humans alone are blessed or endowed with the gift of knowledge, and most importantly, the right to perform karma, fruitive actions, actions which will bear results. And these two conditions, these are the two indispensable conditions required in order to realize God, in the path of God realization. Now one may still ask, why should we realize God? Why should we bother to make an attempt to know Him? So I will continue on with this topic in the next discourse. Until then, Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki
Jai.
Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki
Jai.